Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing beautifully well. Today's valued viewer request is from Anon. It is new. We've got a fire back here, exclamation mark, ×2, inverted commas. Can you recreate this incident in the F-14? I know you can't duplicate the fire. Well, we can see about that, RC. I'm good at setting things on fire, but how about the procedures? And we've got a link to the link. This is just about the beginning of the exercise and where we are in the world, not important for the story. Halfway through the first whatever that is, on cap, waiting for our flight lead, the horizontal situation display, HSD, so that's the pilot gets that, in my cockpit started flickering. And Snap, who's the Rio, said the tactical information display, that there, for the Rio, in the back was doing the same. The next thing I heard was, I've got a fire back here. That's my American accent for Snap. Flames were coming from the right side. How worrying is this tiny little cockpit? Jet. Night, by the way. This is night. Just making things worse. And flames start coming out of there. Slightly worrying. From the right side of the TID, behind the cockpit instrument panel on the Rio's cockpit. My right hand let go of the stick, swept aft, and shut off both generators. Right, he's asked us to follow the procedure. Let me just get out my brand new Black Hod knee pad here. Bit of product placement there, RC. I've got to write this down. So the first thing is shut off both generators. Both gens. Okay. Why you do that? I've not the foggiest. There was no unusual control input, so I decided to leave. Okay, so I decided to leave the stability augmentation SAS switches engaged and corresponding circuit breakers in. So leave the SAS on. I immediately turned back to USS Kitty Hawk. Okay. I nervously asked if the fire was out, and he responded, "No. The moment of truth was here. I had to shut off the emergency generator." Okay, so emerge gen. So this is the pilot doing that. Generator, and fly a 30-ton fighter at night with a flashlight, and a standby gyro that was good for less than 10 minutes. I guess it's battery powered. With the emergency generator off, the cockpit went black instantly, but my standard Navy flashlight was getting me by. I had it strapped upside down on my survival vest in case we lost lighting. With my harness unlocked, I could twist in the ejection seat and aim the light at the airspeed altimeter, vertical speed indicator, etc. I turned around, loosened my mask, and shouted at Snap over the roaring ESC, "Is the fire out yet?" He shouted, "No!" The F-14 is the fastest aircraft in the flight, but we can't outrun a fire in a cockpit. I started getting a lump in my throat from thinking about the inevitable next step until Snap shouted, "Hey, I think it's going out." The wire bundle insulation continued to smoulder behind the TID, but soon the fire had gone out. We waited another 30 seconds and brought the emergency generator back online. The fire remained out, partial instrument lighting was restored, and so the emergency generator back online. Emerge gen on. The fire remained out, partial instrument lighting was restored, so probably just the essentials. And Snap was on the radio to Kitty Hawk's Marshal approach control, declaring an emergency. I secured the ECS, emergency
environmental control system.
But I secured, ECS. Dumped the cabin pressure. So dump pressure. I'm always unpleasant at 20,000 feet, and selected RAM to air to clear the smoke. Oh, I see. So it's taking air from outside to clear the smoke and fumes in the cockpit. Okay. My priority was to get back on deck ASAP. I cross-checked standby gyro and HSD, then started descending into the clouds. I turned the fuel dump switch on to get down to our maximum arrested landing weight. We had started with 20,000 pounds of fuel with the tanks and the internal. Remembered that we were down to 16,000 when I shut off the generators, and I had to make sure I was below 8,000 or there was a chance the tail hook might be ripped off the jet because of the weight. I put the Marshal frequency into the front radio in case the emergency generator dropped off to low mode and we lost the radio face. The jets recovering after our go launched were just concluding, and the controllers did an outstanding job vectoring us to final bearing without having our IFF to help them. It was all done painting a raw target. Right, so usually the carrier connects to this aircraft here in terms of its data link and whatnot, and they can communicate with each other automatically, so it knows where they are in the in the stack and so on. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but in this case they literally had to just ping it as a off the radar to know where it was, which is interesting. The initial adrenaline rush was wearing off, and I was concentrating on good basic aviating and crew coordination, which is what you want if you have an emergency. Just fly the plane, right? The Tomcat is huge and is more than 50 feet from the throttles back to the engine control modules. Under normal circumstances, the throttles are boosted like power steering, but not being essential, that is lost on the emergency generator. I normally massage the throttles around 3,000 pounds per hour of fuel flow all the way down into the arresting gear aboard the ship. Now I had to wrestle them without a clue of the fuel flow. I don't really know why it'd be so important to know the fuel flow, but I'm not a pilot. I had the essential instrument light and only one external light for the LSO to help us to get aboard. Descending down to final approach 1,200 feet, so he's on his case 3 now. I secured the fuel dump, figuring we were below 8,000 pounds. There is a standpipe in the tank to ensure that we can't dump below 4K. Well, that explains what our finding was the other day, RC, why we couldn't dump to below 4K. There's a standpipe in there. Although I wonder if you could dump it all the way if you were upside down. Would the standpipe suck it then, do you reckon? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Approaching 1,200 feet, I had to push the throttles up to maintain airspeed, as you do. This was going to be a chore, because you need a muscly arm for this. There was no instrumentation landing system, which you would usually use, obviously, to get on board, because otherwise there's no way of getting on board. Aircraft carrier landing systems, ACLS, also as an automatic subsystem, or distance measuring, DME, on the backup generator. So everything was done by somehow seeing the carrier. In fact, I'm not sure that's even possible. How do they do that, RC? Everything you do at night like this is reliant on the ILS, the ACLS, and the DME,
right,
all kind of functioning into one system. How on earth could you land on a carrier without it? Airspeed, attitude, altitude, vertical speed, and heading was all I had to work with. So the marshal must have been saying, okay, you're at 10 miles, you're at 9 miles, you're at 8 miles. That's the only way I can think of doing this. And then they'll have to compute their, by the mileage, they'll have to compute their sync rate and altitude and speed. Marshall vectored us onto final and kept up our range for the ship. Snap and I did the math. So I'll have to pretend to be Marshall today. I'll have to use the F10 map. Did the math when I needed to start descending on final bearing at 5 to 700 feet per minute with the aircraft good for landing. On final, lowered the gear, flaps and tailhook. None of the indicators were working, so he just had to assume they were. But the gear felt like they sounded to, and it locked in place. Snap used his flashlight to verify the leading edge slats were down. Okay, that's important. The nose pitched down slightly like normal, and there was no uncommanded roll, so it was safe to assume the flaps were loaded symmetrically. The tailhook was anybody's guess, but if it wasn't down, one external light we did have would flash and alert the ship. I wrestled the throttles aft to slow us to the approach speed of 144 knots. I guess since I didn't know I was at fuel weight, slowing through 150 knots, I shoved the throttles forward and had to wrestle them to maintain approach speed. So he didn't know his weight. He didn't know his weight, he had to guess. How interesting. Yeah. I was not looking for... Oh, because, God, he's got no E-bracket, has he? He's got no HUD, no E-bracket.
Right, so you got nothing to...
This is stupid. This is like landing a Spitfire at night. This is like landing a Spitfire with only half its instruments at night on an aircraft carrier. We cross-checked our range with the ship. I opened the speed brakes, dipped the nose to maintain airspeed, and wrestled the throttles some more to stay on our speed and descent. At 1 mile, Marshall told us we were on glide path and on course. We were in the home stretch. Sundown, a 3/4 of a mile call, the bull. Good start. Okay, so they're saying he's in the right place at 3/4 of a mile. Sorry. Yeah. All things considered. A split second later, less than half a mile from the ship, the bull started rising, which means he was getting too high. I was going above the glide path and could miss the arresting wires on the deck. I wrestled with the throttles to pull off what I thought was the appropriate amount of power, which you'd have no way of, it's all guesswork. The LSO quickly responded, decks coming down, power. Decks coming down, power. Okay, so you're coming down too hard, really? Maybe? Great, the deck was pitching. I started shoving the throttles forward and the deck came back to meet us for an OK2 wire launch. When we rolled out the landing area, the jet was surrounded by the crash of the salvage crew, throwing the shots on the gear and... Right, so that is a real heroic job, that is. Landing on a carrier at night is dangerous and terrifying enough, even with all the gear you get that pretty much land it for you. But, it's still incredibly difficult thing to do, as you'll know. To do it without essentially only basic airmanship instruments and basic comms is, as far as I can see, a small miracle. So Let's go and do it. Okay, valued viewers, we're fully loaded and we're heading to the catapult to go out on our completely normal mission. I hope nothing goes wrong with our aeroplane. I hope the avionics specialist did his good job. Oh, I should say, we're in a Tomcat and I'm in the back seat, RC's in the front seat. So RC's flying, I'm thinking. Wings. Ping.
Wow.
Super wing. Okay, I'll see. Take us off, baby. Woo! Oh, see you later, suckers. Man, that looks cool. Very good. Wow, they've been working on the afterburner effects. It looks awesome, I'll say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll say, can you take us on the reciprocal? Just get to 10,000 feet, do a 180, and head away, because we'll be coming from that direction. Right, I'm going to spend the time getting my radar set up for possible baddies in the Korean Peninsula. Okay, we're just passing past one of the islands off the Korean Peninsula. I've noticed a flickering on my display. Oh, look, flickering. Pilot, this is Snap. There's smoke coming out of my TID. This is a big problem. I suggest the first thing we do is shut down both main generators.
Okay, I'm shutting down generators now.
Oh, it's gone dark.
Well,
Okay, I'm on emergency. Oh, what's happening, RC?
lost the autopilot.
Fly the jet, fly the jet. The fire's still going. Shut down emergency generator. Shut down emergency generator. Oh my god, it's completely dark.
Light, flashlight.
Flashlight. Okay, stand by, let me check on everything. Okay, I'll see. The fire is slowly...
Fire out.
The fire is... It's going out. Yeah, it's going out. That's the good thing. Let me check on the plane quickly, make sure everything's looking good. Everything is looking good. We're going to be overfueled. My fuel gauge isn't working, I can see. In fact, it is, which is a bit embarrassing, but let's just pretend it isn't working. Oh, no, it isn't working. It shows, but it's not working. Fuel gauge isn't working. Last time I saw it, we're at 12,000 pounds. I think it must have been. We need to get down to below 8,000 pounds. We need to dump what you believe is 4,000 pounds of fuel. Please dump. I'll look at the tailpipe and check it's coming out. Sweet, I can't see anything at all. Well, we're just going to have to hope we can dump the fuel. Okay, I'm going to call Mother and tell her that the problem we've got standby.
Marshall 012, March Mops 237.
Are you getting those comms?
Angels 16.5.
Standby for everything. She's not replying, RC. What the hell is that all about? Our radios are out. Our radios are out.
Radio, yeah.
Alright, emergency generator back on. Okay, emergency gen. We've got primary instruments back online. I'm going to try the radio again. RC, please don't crash.
Lost my SA.
Angels 18.
Come on, baby, reply.
16.2.
Reply. Reply. Oh, thank God. Okay, we got it. Right, things to take, important things, RC. We are, let me have a look. Okay, the radial is going to be 221, so we've got a BRC of 221, or near enough, radial of the runway. No, it's radial of the runway. So we're going to be landing on 221 magnetic, okay? I'm now going to request an azimuth to the carrier, standby.
I've got the laser light. You see it.
Roger. Okay, will you do that? I'm going to request an azimuth to make sure. Okay, I'm requesting azimuth.
012, request navigation assistance.
Okay, we need to get to 057 magnetic, RC. 057. Oh, you're already on it. Well done, RC. Aren't you clever? Right. So, as you can see, all of my instruments have gone off apart from the flight instruments, and I'm using my torch to actually see stuff. I don't think they actually have these lights working in the story, these kind of lights here, or I may be I'm not sure. Either way, it's pretty well modelled from what I can see.
Well, with the emergency generator off, we would have nothing.
Right, now I'm going to have to cheat for the distance because we've got no DME, and she would have told him. So we're at 22 miles. So if we do 300 feet per mile, let me get my calculator out, RC. We should be at 6,600 feet. So can you get to 6,600 feet and then a descent rate of, we'll have to figure it out. Oh, I can see something.
Laser light.
Yeah, laser light. Awesome. See that, valued viewers? We've got a laser light there.
I don't remember if red is off to the left or right.
Okay, I just got a 21 DME, which was completely wrong. No, that was to our stack. We're at 9 miles, RC. 9 times 300. Guys, 9 times 300. Okay, we're at 9 miles. I need to give her the Sierra at 10 command. Shit. No, you don't have Sierra at 10 on this, do you? Oh, God. I'm established. I'm commencing. No, I'm established.
012. Established Angels.
Get yourself down to landing speed. Get your gear out. Get your flaps down when you're down to landing speed. We're going to miss it otherwise. We've got them indicators. Just listen and see if you can hear them going chunk. Yeah, I heard them go chunk.
Yep.
Okay. Right. I'm established. Right. I'm going to commence now. Commencing.
012.
Come on, mother. See us in.
6.2.
Speed is 220 IAS. Altitude, we're high. Let me check our DME. 5 miles, we're at 5 miles. 5 times 300 is 1,500 feet. We're twice the height we should be.
012. Checking in. 4 miles.
4 miles, that's 1,200 feet, 1,200 feet. Final bearing, 041. Bearing looks Sierra Hotel. Thank God that laser's there, RC,
Yeah.
otherwise we couldn't do this. Okay, right, we're doing it. Right, we're flying now. I'm going to call the ball. Get ready to call the ball.
012. Platform.
Got the ball.
Got
we
my,
got the ball. Right, I'm getting ready for the call. Okay, we're yellow. Shit, which way is yellow, RC?
Yellow's right on. Dead on.
Oh, shit. Oh, well done.
Dead on.
Shit, I can't see anything. Check speed. Speed is 170. Shit, Admiral's doorbell. I just realised we've got bombs on. Admiral's doorbell.
Oh, shit. You got...
Hope. Yes, the Jetson. Right, your trim's going to change, your speed's going to change.
Right.
Get ready.
Okay, I can see the deck now.
Oh, I can't see shit. I'm okay. I'm relying on you now for this. Fly that ball.
Okay, right on.
Slightly low on the ball. Shit, I forgot to call the ball. Never mind, too late. Come on, baby. Is there a girlfriend you have in Vietnam? Have you got the hook down?
Yep.
Come on. Yes! Oh, no! A jet!
Well, we caught the wire.
We did catch the wire. I think we that was simulating our hook snapping, I think, because we were just too... I think we didn't get rid of... It's because we didn't do the fuel dump, isn't it? We came down so hard.
We were dumping.
Wonder what fuel we were at.
Yeah, once I turned the emergency generator on, I checked and we were dumping fuel.
Well done, RC. Obviously, I'm going to cut everything out that you did well, but... So what RC managed to get down with flight instruments only and shitty cockpit lighting and comms from me, and I'm basically just a giant monkey, and we managed to get down. I know we snapped the hook off, but, you know, I don't think many people could do that.
We were going that fast. I mean, I don't know why that...
I don't know, it just happened. Anyway, guys. Yeah, no, it's good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, because I really enjoyed that, and I'll see you later.